Howdy folks, Deacon Parsons here. This video is to allow me to explain the tagline that I end all my videos with, what I call Deacon Parsons' Creed. When I began this channel about 4 years ago, I started ending each video with a catchphrase. It's a three-part phrase. Love your maker, love your mate, and do what's right because it's right, and devil take the hindmost. It's a phrase that I've come to realize is very geographically and culturally specific. I've had a few questions about it over the years, and a recent conversation with a viewer made me take stock and realize that I need to do an in-depth explanation. One reason for this is the surprising reach this channel has achieved. I live in Kansas. I am literally halfway between the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans, and halfway between Canada and Mexico. I live in the very definition of the phrase, middle of nowhere, USA. The dialect of English used in my area is slightly different than those used on the coast, the Midwest Great Lakes region, the South, the Southwest, and other parts of the U.S. In addition to that, I have viewers from Great Britain, Canada, Australia, and some people working in the U.S. who were born in India. These are 5 countries separated by our common English language. And to add even more complication, I know I have at least a few viewers for whom English is not their primary language. With all this in mind, it behooves me to do a detailed explanation of what I mean when I say, love your maker, love your mate, and do what's right because it's right, and devil take the hindmost. The first phrase, love your maker, refers to honoring that which is greater than yourself. If you're a person of faith, that will be your God or gods or whatever supernatural path you follow. The majority of the world's population will fall into this category. But I have skeptic viewers as well. If you are not a person of faith, that phrase will apply to those precepts or convictions that you hold that are greater and more important than yourself. As I said in my other video, to be a man you must acknowledge something that is more important than your own life. If you don't have something worth dying for, you don't have something worth living for. That precept actually applies to all adults. The second phrase, love your mate, refers to the familial obligations that you've accepted. This could be your literal mate, or it could be the extended family that you cherish. That family can be blood kin, or it could be the family or tribe that you've chosen to be a part of your life in place of your blood kin. Now the third part of the creed is where most of the confusion comes in. Do what's right because it's right, and devil take the hindmost. Okay, so what is right? Well, we can all agree on the major items: do not murder, do not steal, do not lie, etc. These are easy. It gets harder to find consistent consensus the more finely we try to chew the subject. When the topic of gray areas come up, my equine background really asserts itself. I will ask people, have you ever seen a gray horse? And most people will answer in the affirmative. Then I ask them, have you ever seen a gray horse hair? When they start to say that yes they have, I stop them. There's no such thing as a gray horsehair. A horse that appears to be gray colored actually has both white hairs and black hairs side by side, giving the optical illusion of the color gray. And so it is with gray areas in morality. If it appears gray, it just means we haven't looked at the situation in enough detail. If the question is important enough, more time and effort is in order to clarify the situation. Don't get in the habit of completely trusting other people's ideas of what is right. Sometimes it's important to do the research and come to your own conclusions, even if they disagree with people you love and trust. If they love and trust you, it won't be a huge problem. If it becomes a huge problem, well, once we've determined what is right, why do we do what is right? Well, because it's right. We do it simply because it's the right thing to do. We do it without expectation of being rewarded. We do it because the inherent power of right compels us as moral people. Now finally, the meaning of devil take the hindmost. We do what is right without regard to cost or consequences to ourselves. Doing what is right often makes people angry. Doing what is right exposes those people who aren't doing what is right. It makes evil people angry, and they often strike back. Devil take the hindmost is like Admiral Farragut's command, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. We're going to do this no matter what. So, to rephrase the creed into less poetic and colorful terms, do the right thing without expecting to be rewarded and regardless of the negative consequences. Kind of boring, right? No pizzazz. Not worth putting on a t-shirt or a bumper sticker. Not really catchphrase jingly. I want to take a moment to highlight two people who currently embody the creed. I don't know if they consciously ascribe to it, but they are living it. Freedom of speech is a bedrock of liberty. Without it, we are all just sheep to be sheared. Professor Janice Fiamingo of the University of Ottawa and Professor Jordan Peterson of the University of Toronto have taken public stands in support of free speech. Both are currently being prosecuted by government officials for this support. Their livelihoods are on the line. These two are heroes of liberty and freedom. They're both doing what's right because it's right. Devil take the hindmost. Please give them all the support you can. Visit their YouTube channels. I'll put some links in the low bar. Pay attention to their cases as they work their way through the system. Support them publicly if, when, and where appropriate to the best of your ability. These two cases are the sleeper news items of the century. Our liberty may ultimately rest on the shoulders of these two academic giants. Well, there you have it. I hope this makes sense. And if not, I reckon I'll make another video. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe if you are so inclined. And until next time, love your maker, love your mate, and do what's right because it's right, and devil take the hindmost.